This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Monday, January 27th, 2020. The title of this rant is Solar and Wind Energy Are Killing Coal. Number one, thank God, but number two, we still have a long way to go because there's still far too many coal plants in production, working right now. And of course, my generation, the generation before me, need to, we're giving something terrible to the next generation. So we have to set this as fast and as quickly as possible. But in 2020, new power plant productions, those starting construction, are going to be 44% wind, 32% solar, 22% natural gas. That means if there's any coal, and I don't think there are, be less than 1%. Very important that we continue along these lines. I'm not necessarily in favor of natural gas, but obviously it is a much lower carbon footprint than coal. Also, in terms of power plants who are going into retirement this year, 51% of them are going to be coal power plants. So, of course, why is this? Wind and solar tech costs have come down dramatically. So things that we might have thought were impossible 10 years ago, or things that we might have thought were impossible 20 years ago, now 10 years ago, now they're completely possible. The startup costs for wind and solar power plants is much less than that it is for coal. I don't want to go into China and their problems with coal, but they are also making dramatic efforts to reduce their carbon footprint, even though they are adding new power plants. Let's remember a couple things. Texas leads the nation in wind energy. So even though we think of it as a big oil state, they know where their future is for them. And even though they have some terrible governor and attorney general or vice governor or whatever, they are making tremendous investment in renewables. And when it comes to corporations, are far exceeding what this federal government is doing. Many states are doing the same. California, as an example, starting January 1 of this new year, all new housing construction must come with solar. There's approximately 80,000 new homes to be constructed in California with this year. All will be solar. It would be nice to see if the rest of the nation can follow that in. And even though I'm not necessarily in favor of Google and Facebook in terms of them allowing political ads which allow people to lie outright, they are making tremendous strides in terms of reducing their carbon footprint. I'll also say that Apple has gone a long way with that. Of course, there's many others. Microsoft, as an example, has recently indicated that they are going to offset all of their carbon footprint. In terms of their investment, they are going to offset all of their carbon emissions by 2050 for all of its carbon emissions since it was first incorporated in 1975. Now, I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but if that's what they're going to do, again, a tremendous investment in renewable energy as corporations, as states and power plants know that we cannot continue on this path, that we need to have renewables, we need to reduce our carbon footprint, and of course, this only has to continue in a tremendous way. And as much as we are trying to do right now with absolutely no dedication to this, leadership in this, or investment in this by the federal government, we're still trying to make tremendous strides. We should always remember, even though we always poo-poo everything about Europe, they're dramatically, astronomically ahead of us in terms of renewable energy. In fact, I think I pointed this out before, on a good windy day in Scotland, because it's very windy up there with the North Sea and everything, they can meet all of their energy needs on an exceptionally windy day in Scotland from wind energy. So we have a long, long way to go. And we have to be diligent and progressive. And our leadership has to be diligent and progressive and leading us forward. We must continue to move forward. And I have to emphasize that leadership is not coming from a single person in the Republican Party. And our planet needs that progressive leadership. Because guess what? There is no planet B.